Hi, I'm Frank Wigginton, Certified Financial Planner, and this is the Budgeting 101 series. Today I'm going to talk to you about identifying the income you have coming in. Every budget has two parts to it, the money coming in and the money going out. And today I'm going to talk to you about some of the things you can do to truly get that amount coming in to be the right amount. A lot of people miss a lot of income, and that throws your budget off right away. An example is that a lot of people get paid on a bi-weekly basis. When they do this, they look at their paycheck and say, I get paid twice a month. So they take that amount and they double it, and that's the amount. The reality is that there'll be some months where they get a third paycheck. In those situations, when you've only just doubled it up, you've missed out on about 8.3% of your overall income. So in many cases, that's more than enough to fund retirement that you haven't included in your balance sheet, you haven't included in your budget. Some deductions that go off your paycheck include things such as your pension, your CPP, EI, union dues, life and health insurance expenses that are paid for from your paycheck to cover benefits and things like that, gym memberships, those types of expenses. Those all need to be categorized and listed in the expense section on your budget spreadsheet. Okay? So when you're doing this, what I want you to do is I want you to take those out and look at what is my income before those items. On the budget spreadsheet that I've got there, I've got a section for taxes. You can list and separate out the taxes. So you'll include the gross amount of pay in your income section and then list the amount of tax income that you have coming out. It's probably best to grab some paychecks from different periods of time. If you make more than $44,000 a year, you're going to max out your CPP and EI. You're going to. That's the cap. I think it's $43,700, I think, is for the CPP and EI. So once you've earned more than that, you'll stop having those things deducted from your paycheck. You need to be aware of that. There's some tips and tricks in the blog below here that talks a little bit about that, so read through that on the best way to figure that out if you have an income over $44,000, and consider that you need to make sure that you've got it correct and you've got that right amount of income for your budget. A couple of things to note. There are a lot of people who work on shift work, variable income, and or commission income. It's really tough to figure out how much money do I realistically have every month to spend, because if you get your shifts and you work extra shifts or overtime, you're going to have lots of money. But then some months you're going to work and you're going to have fewer and fewer shifts, and your shifts may be cut back. So it becomes very difficult. Same thing with commission income. Sometimes you're going to have huge months and you're going to have huge paychecks, and other months you may not even have a paycheck. So how do you budget for that and how do you manage that? My recommendation to most people is to take last year's tax return for a couple of reasons. Going back and looking at it and saying, well, how much did I realistically make in commissions and or shift work last year? Then do a conservative guesstimate of what you think this next year is going to bring. Sometimes it helps to talk to your boss, your superiors, to get their input to say, is this going to be a better year, a slower year? Is there going to be more hours available for me to work, less hours available for me to work? And that should help you to figure out and budget and guesstimate. If you explain to them, I'm just trying to figure out my income and do my budgeting, most of them are willing to sit down and talk to you a little bit about it. The other good thing a tax return can be used for is identifying income that you don't get on a regular basis or you're not thinking about. Investment income is a very classic one. Dividends that are paid out on a quarterly basis. People aren't thinking about those. Bond interest that's paid out semi-annual, those types of things. Your tax return is going to show that income to you. In the first, I think section 200 of the T1 General is where you're going to find that. So just go back to last year's tax return and you'll be able to start to identify where some of your income is coming from. Things such as alimony, child support, and bonuses, etc. That all needs to be factored in when you're looking at it. So be conservative with things that, could be influenced by your performance at work and or the performance of the economy in general. Those are some great ways to identify some income. Take a look. There's some more tips and advice in the blog below. If you have any questions, please leave the comments at the bottom of the blog or send me an email, frank@wigginton.ca. I'm happy to take the time and respond. Talk to you soon.